I just entered the corner. It was a 50-kilometer-an-hour corner. And the corner halfway becomes a 30K corner. So obviously I was going too fast to make that 30K. The braking that I did wasn't good enough, and I hit the concrete guardrail on my right-hand side. The injury was a degloving of the soft tissue from the bone. Basically, it's like having a turkey leg or a chicken leg, biting the meat off of it and letting the meat just hang, and you can see the bone running down, right? That's basically what the leg looked like.
I wasn't really going that fast, it's just that the concrete guardrail, you don't have to go fast for it to injure you, right? So after the degloving, I just, I checked myself out. You know, I did a little quick assessment of what was wrong, and I found it was just my leg that was affected.
I saw what I thought wasn't my leg. It just looked really, really weird, seeing my leg ripped open like that. And I saw white bone, and I was confused. I was confused as to what I saw, because I don't see that kind of stuff every day, right? Especially on your own body, right? I looked at it twice, because the first time I really didn't know what I was looking at. And the second time I said, well, that's my leg. The accident happened on a Wednesday, June 14th, 2000, and it was a gorgeous day. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous, perfect day. It was 5 days prior to the golf trip. I was on HMCS Calgary at that time, and we were leaving for the golf, and we had a little bit of time off prior to that. I was released October 31st, 2000, or correction, 2002. I was released based on the fact that I had a high risk of re-injury, and my injuries in a doctor's eyes were not recoverable to the point where I could be military fit again. You know, like it really makes everything more real to you at that time, because you're gonna be released. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're gone. It's just a matter of time. We had to sell the house, obviously, right? I couldn't assume the mortgage on my own. Okay, we were both on the mortgage at that time, but because we were breaking up, we were gonna sell the house, I couldn't assume the other part of that mortgage. The numbers made sense, enough money was coming in, but I didn't have a job. So basically that's why I lost the house. It was just the financial loss at that period that made me really, really, you know, pissed off. Why should anyone have a financial loss like that because of a blunder, you know, of a policy, of a medical system in the military that would allow a person like me to be released in the first place? My progress at the beginning was just to learn how to walk. I would go to physio, I think it was 3 times a week for about 2 hours at a time. Basically, I was trying to stabilize the leg and strengthen the leg. There was a lot of pain still involved, but probably within a month or 2 of doing that, I was getting really strong, and they were very, very surprised by how good I was getting, you know. So I had every indication that I was going to get better. I was going to get back to where I was before, and they actually believed that. It took about 4 months, 3.5, 4 months to actually throw the crutches away and be able to walk with confidence. I was still working very, very, very hard, trying to get myself back in shape. Running stairs, every chance I would get, running, but very, very slowly. There was still a huge, not a huge pain, there was still a pain in the front of my left knee, around the patella. And I knew something was out of place. It just felt weird, you know? So one day in the shower, for whatever reason, I just moved my leg in a certain way, you know, just because it kind of felt weird, you know? It's like when you crack your fingers, I tried to crack my knee, right? And something cracked and it hurt, right? And I said, oh, what did I do? Jeez, what did I do to myself now, right? But then the pain was gone.
It's funny, as soon as you made permanent and the message comes from Ottawa or board, I think it's Ottawa, that you are released, that here's your release date and everything else like this, you got to prove without a doubt that they're wrong.
The FCE that I had to take cost me $1,500. Of course, I paid for that myself. And it's used specifically for employers or employees to get their job back. And the military has this outlined, and it's based from the Universality of Service standard. And this standard defines many, many things that every Canadian Forces member should be able to do physically. No matter what trade you are, or if you're Air Force, Navy, Army, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what job you do, you all have to adhere to one standard. The first day back was a weird day. My first day back was the day I was signed in. I was signed in around 8 or 9 in the morning, and I reported to my unit around 12 o'clock that day, or 1300 that same day. Actually, I think it was around closer to 1100 that day, so 11 o'clock. And I reported to my unit that I was released from. So I was released from the same people I was reporting back into duty to, and it didn't make any sense to them. My functional capacity evaluation results came back. I had them on paper. I went down to the recruit center like just days after, and I put it on the desk. And the petty officer that was down there, ironically enough, the same trade I was trying to get back into, funny, he was confused as to why I was released in the first place. It just made me more confused as to why I was released. The whole system is stupid. It makes no sense, you know? I proved I was fit before I was released. I proved I was twice as fit after I was released. And then to prove that I was fit for the military going through the recruiting process, I had to take this stupid little test that anyone could pass. I could have passed that with one leg. I could have done that test on crutches, you know, backwards. It made no sense, and I just, you know, yeah, oh, you know, it made no sense to me. It really, really pissed me off. It leaves a really huge bad taste in your mouth, you know? It leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and I was bitter for a long time, believe me, you know? But I kept working hard. I kept working hard to get back in the military, to get my job back, because I didn't quit. You know? They quit on me. I didn't quit. And I had to get my job back, you know? Yeah.
On April 30th, Reese will do something more. Almost 6 years after his accident, he will run the Times Colonist 10K for the first time.
The race itself is a milestone, you know? I don't care to finish first. I just enjoy being able to actually participate and, you know, just to be able to breathe, really.
Reese, who hopes to run a sub 40 for the first time in the 10K on Sunday, now has his job back and has a left leg that he says is at 100%. And he's also got some advice for those needing a little motivation.
For one thing, stop whining. You know, put the bag of chips down and go for a walk. You know, like seriously, you just got to take the baby steps and just step by step by step, and don't expect too much too soon.
It took more than 2 years of baby steps for Reese to reach a point where he could run in the 10K. He has a new motorbike and a new appreciation for what he's got left.
Well, just being able to walk and run is cool enough, you know. To be able to race, I think that's pretty cool too. I'm just glad that I have the leg and I'm able to do what I can do with it, and because a lot of people don't have that second chance. So I appreciate every day I have it still.
I had no choice but not to give up. You know, I had to keep going. I had to get my job back, you know. There were certain points where I didn't know if I was going to actually be able to, you know, because they give you every indication that you're useless to them. I'd like to say that there's a great big ending and great experiences and, you know, wow, look at the person I am today because of it, but no. I'm still the same person. I'm the same person that crashed that day. I'm the same person that dragged me out of that hole that I was in and got me working hard to get back my legs ability and my job and everything else, get me back to where I was before. I'm the same person.